5% taxation. And that's called usury, which is an exorbitant amount of money to pay. You get your foreign aid from America and Britain, and then they tax you with a large sum of money to pay back. That's called neo-colonialism, and the Bible prophesied all that type of stuff. It's only going to get worse here in Kenya.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bishop. I need to be replayed. Some of us were very keen. I need to be replayed.
Replay it. Replay it.
From the start?
Yeah, they should have played it from the beginning, because you have to know the whole matter.
Look at you, some of you can't even speak, you know why? Because you've been told lies all your life in these Christian churches. It's time to run the hell out of these churches. They're teaching you lies. What color is King Solomon? The book of 1 Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5. I am. I'm recording.
Shalom Israel, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash, double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, salutations, and blessings to the elect, pushing the word across the four corners of the earth. And this is an example of how we say wisdom is the application of knowledge. Yeah, this wasn't a wise move. Matthew 5:25. I agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. We always bring this scripture out, because while preaching, we're just preaching. You know, ultimately, every city has their particular rights and codes and laws, you know, and in certain situations, you know, if you have a rapport with the officer, you can actually, you know, reason with them and talk to them, right? But you have to read the spirit. And this is why the apostles have said it many times, we're not jet setting around the world to try to force people to have this word. The internet does the heavy lifting. And the Lord, through the spirit, chooses who he wants and whatever place he wants. I was to say the word will be preached in the four corners of the earth, then shall the ends come. So whatever city the Lord chooses for the prophets to be in, that's the city that he chooses the prophets to be in. All right? If not, you might have to be on the internet. You might have to change locations. Right? But we understand that we're at the end and things are speeding up. So the Lord is going to do what he's going to do. This is Matthew 10. Yeah, you have to read the spirit. When they from the look of it, you know, I've only watched this particular 25-minute video. I haven't seen any other media or, you know, heard any other commentary. But from the look of it, you know, IUIC is giving some feedback on something that happened. But once you guys saw these guys show up with AKs you should have proceeded to leave. That should have been it. This is Matthew 10 and 11. And into whatever town or small place you go, make search there for someone who is respected. So like I gotta put this in the KJV. Verse 11. And into whatsoever city or town ye shall enter, inquire who in it is worthy, and there abide till ye go thence. So whoever inquire who in it is worthy. Now you go, you inquire. Like these different places we're at in the States, we know people, like I said, there are certain rites that are set up over in Babylon, which they could just ask you to leave because they did that during 2020, during COVID. They had the streets locked down and, they won that. But then it switched right back. That's just how it is, man. We gotta duck and dodge Esau, trying to, sometimes, like I said, the spirit of habit where you can holler at them and even reverse the situation. But you got to read the spirit. All right, their spirit was one, you could see the people in the background just standing afar off like, these, nigga, like these niggas are invading our country. Oh no. Like there was no rapport there with anybody. So like I'm gonna keep reading Matthew 10 and 12. And when you come into a house, salute it. And this is in the ancient world, mind you, where people actually, people actually were much more in certain situations, because Paul got ran out of places, actually. Let me correct myself. But people were a little more accommodating. At least you were supposed to be. That was the law and custom when we were in our land. Right? Even though, like I said, you had wicked niggas who just chased the men of the Lord off. And then the scriptures also say Jerusalem, them that kill the prophets. So this is Matthew 10 and 13. And if the house be worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it be not worthy, let your peace return to you. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when you depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. And you got to remember too, like I said, inquire who in it is worthy. Now, if nobody's worthy, nobody's receiving the word, okay, let's go somewhere else. That's a big part of why we don't prophesy in the hood as well, because everybody just disrespectful. They want to fight. At least Esau, they'll try to pretend like they know the scriptures for 10 seconds. They'll just walk by and ignore, which is what even Esau would do that. A nigga try to fight you and bring a curse upon himself and his whole household, and really upon the city. And it says, verbally, verse 15, I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So you gotta read the streets, man. You gotta read the vibe. All right, like you study serpents, they lick their tongue out, and they can smell, they can feel heat, and they can actually smell predators, smell prey. Now they know when to duck under the rock. Serpents don't always fight you. Sometimes they run to a spot they know, they know you can't get them. They go underground. They move around, Have to walk by the spirit and not by the flesh, because the flesh is gonna tell you, man, they can't tell us what we can't. You know what I'm saying? That's that American shit. These other countries, as you can see, they ain't playing. If they say shut down, shut down. All right, we're gonna shake our dust. We're gonna go somewhere else. This is Sirach 19 and 13. Keep you far from the man that has power to kill, so shall you not doubt the fear of death. And if you come to him, make no fault, lest he take away your life presently. Remember that you go in the midst of snares, and that you walk upon the battlements of the city. Right? And here's the battlement, because you had to have that battlement set up if the building was so high, so the person wouldn't just fall. It could be a net, could be, So you're walking on that. It says you go in the midst of snares. So you got to know that it's trap set up. You come out, you see they just on bullshit. They riding 4 deep, so-and-so cars deep. It's a lot going on. It's a lot of noise, a lot of antics. You might want to kind of keep it moving. We're not here to, bullets flying past our head and then, we're not here for that. We're actually coming to the point where we're no longer going to be teaching on the street anymore. All right, when like I said, the rattling of the wheels. In fact, let me get that. Yeah, IUIC, we've been telling you, number one, the name. You playing with the Lord's name, so something to happen with you. The Lord will put you through situations for not heeding to wisdom. Right? For keep hardening your neck, and because they said we watch all the videos y'all make about us. Well, okay, here's another one. I hope you listen. This is what's it say? Chattering. It's talking about here, Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city. Yeah, you guys better listen and pay attention. You IUIC members, whoever you are who don't actually do any videos or speak, for yourself, have any personal works, which again, that shouldn't be the case. All right, we're not here just to not do any works, man. Show up to a class with your wife and your kids, and they play around, and we have a program, and we have a 501c3. Look, we're not here for that. All right, every man in his house, that's his business. When you jump in with us, we're here to preach the Lord, preach the word of the Lord in the highways and the byways until the time comes where the Spirit pulls us away. And we go to them and say, hey, we tell them, hey, go to them that sell. Get off our comment board, because it's coming. That time is actually coming. All right, and that's why it's important to take this word seriously. That's why it's important to get understanding while understanding may be found. This is Nahum 3:1, because this is what's going to happen eventually. Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. The horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain. This is in the bloody city, and a great number of carcasses, and there is none in of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses. So there you go. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. All right, and that's what's coming to Babylon very shortly. The city is going to get real bloody. It's going to get real violent. And the Lord is going to protect and exalt his elect. And we ain't going to be fishing no more. We're going to be hunting. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Rakakadash. We're just here to teach the word. We're just here to teach the word, man. Observe the times, and may the spirit of Yahweh Shai Shai be on the sincere elect. Shalom.